I'm here actually at Fly Llama Brewing, Gulf Coast here. It's our premier brewing company on the coast, and just really excited to be here with one of their brewers. So I'm going to have him introduce himself and share a little bit about himself.
I'm Miles Harris. I grew up in Gulfport, Mississippi. I went to Mississippi State for chemical engineering. Found myself looking for jobs after college and just trying to find something I was passionate about and loved, and fell into the brewery world, and 5 years later this is where we're at.
So Miles, tell me, how does this connect with your chemical engineering?
So basically it's just process engineering. It's what chemical engineering boils down to, and this is just a giant process. You go from hot to cold, fermentation, you get some biological science in there, and you get to play with all the different polyphenols and esters and stuff that just develop your taste for beer.
Well, that's cool. And I've actually got a prickly pear seltzer, which is fantastic. I don't know what you're drinking.
Sipping our Bridget. It's a Belgian wit.
Okay. Well, and today we're here because actually they're having a crawfish boil for Back Bay Mission for 100th anniversary. So we're really grateful to them for their support and for what they do for Back Bay. Because this is, how long has this Fly Llama been here?
So we opened 2021, January 14th. Yeah, during the pandemic we opened up. It's been about a year, 3 months now.
Wow.
And we did another charity event like this last year for the women's shelter that covers all 7 counties down here.
For the Center for Nonviolence, which strangely enough, Back Bay Mission gave birth to the Center for Nonviolence a number of years ago,
That's awesome.
So we've given birth to quite a few organizations that are not-for-profits on the coast, like the Mississippi AIDS Task Force, Center for Nonviolence, Loaves and Fishes, that are all kind of supporting the marginalized community. So tell us a little bit about what you do on a daily basis as far as making beer, because I think folks would be interested in that.
So you come in, start the day by figuring out what beer needs to be put in the tanks. It comes in malted already, and it goes through an industrial grinder, which is a mill, and it just breaks it up so you can reveal the starches inside that grain, which becomes their enzymes to produce your sugars. So you get like beta and alpha amylase, which ferment out and produce your ethanol, which gives us the alcohol, and then CO2. So CO2 bubbles out and over, and you cap it at the end of it, and it actually starts to force carb the beer a little.
Which only a chemical engineer would understand. So how many different beers do you produce here?
So we've done over 100 unique beer styles, like
100
beers.
unique beers
In the last, yeah.
In the last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we try to flip something and do something new and unique all the time. We have a couple of year rounds, which is Bridget, the Belgian wit, our Fly PA, which is just like a session hazy IPA, and then our seltzers. And so we do pineapple satsuma, strawberry basil, and muscadine, which is a southern grape. And those are our 3 flavors we keep on all the time. And then we do things like the prickly pear with pineapple and lime, and just random one-offs just to keep on tap in here and just play around a lot.
So I have to ask, because I moved here from Phoenix a year ago, prickly pears grow there, wild, prickly pear plant, tree, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And they had prickly pear candy, prickly pear wine. So the prickly pears grow here in Mississippi? No. So this is something you're importing, right?
Yeah.
Or it's a flavor you're importing?
Yeah, we're getting it imported. This one, I think, is Oregon. We get it from Oregon fruit.
No kidding. And muscadine, which you mentioned, the grapes, right? Muscadine is kind of a traditional grape that's grown here in Mississippi, right?
Yeah, it's a nice sized grape. It's got a really hard shell around it though.
Yeah.
So you can't really eat the outside of it as much, but really juicy, full of flavor grape.
Yeah, and they make muscadine wine here, which is a very sweet, almost dessert wine, right? Yeah. Do you do wines here or just beers?
Just beer.
Right? Okay. Anything else you want to share with us? Kind of why beer? Why is that your passion? Because I know everybody's trying to find their passion, especially during this time of COVID. A lot of folks were kind of like, I want to really live my passion. I want to take a detour. I want to do something else.
So I've always loved the process of you take this plant basically, you chop it up, you dry it out, you throw it in a kiln, and then you get to extract and you change it by adding a biological material like yeast, and it produces alcohol. So I was always into beer making or making whiskey or going into the distillery, and I just kind of fell into this right out of college. So.
Wow, that's really cool. And you said you went to Southern Miss?
Mississippi State University in Starkville.
Oh, okay, okay. And 4 years, or was it longer than 4 years for you? 4 years. And then right here, after graduation?
Yeah, I came back down to Gulfport. I just had one of my youngest sister had her first kid, so I came down to spend time with all my nieces and family.
Wow. So how did you get to know the owners here?
I was looking for jobs, trying to figure out like what exactly I wanted to do, applying to normal chemical engineering jobs, and I was sitting in a bar, and some stuff was going on in the bar, and I was just like, I can help you out with that real quick. Like I have some knowledge. And about a week later, I interviewed to just be a bar back until they had a position in the back actually open up. So I ended up working as a bar back for like a week and a half, and then I ran a canning line and did maintain production. And I just stepped up from there. I went from doing production line to cellar work, which is doing all the cold side. And then I stepped into brewing, and now I just run all our production here.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And I have to say, like a lot of our volunteers that come down from places like Wisconsin, Ohio, Connecticut, Nebraska, Indiana, they oftentimes in the evening after they do work projects, right, on homes and people that are living in poverty here that need repairs, they often sit there and kick back beer. So I'm going to suggest they come here, get their beers here instead.
Definitely should. Drink local.
Yeah, right, drink local, exactly.
Wherever you are, drink local. Gotta give it all a try.
It's great. So you can see the shirt he's got on, the Llama Project, a charity crawfish boil. So we got crawfish out there. This is kind of, I've only lived here a year, and I haven't ventured any crawfish. We have shrimp boils at Back Bay. It's kind of one of our traditions, so I'm going to venture into crawfish today. But is there anything around here you want to take me to kind of show us? As far as some of the machinery,
I'll show you.
Be helpful, Kevin?
Yeah, I can show you some of the canning line and stuff like that. Yeah,
cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
Walk right through here. So this is where all of our packaging gets done. Basically, it's pretty automated. So we have a depalletizer, so we pretty much load that thing with cans, and it'll come down through this twist press, and deionized air. And then it comes in here. We have a 7 bill head, so we can run about 88 cases an hour.
88 cases an hour?
An hour, so yeah. And it takes 2 people. One person just maintains and watches everything over here. And they'll come through here and seams the cans right there after it drops the lid on it. Rinses them off, puts a label on it right there. That little thing just puts those little toppers on it, so you can your little carrier. And it just gets unloaded right over there. And you load it up on a pallet, throw it in the cooler.
And this is a finished product here?
That's before it's labeled, yeah.
Before it's labeled.
Every time you start the line, we always pull the first few cans just because short fills, and so we usually just pull them, and all of our bartenders get some free drinks.
That's great. That's great. Well, hey, thank you for your time, and thank you for your support of Back Bay Mission, and thanks for getting in front of the camera.
Of course.
Okay, and everybody who is outside Biloxi, when you come down to Biloxi, be sure to come to Fly Llama Brewery. And the last question I have is, because I haven't asked this, is why Fly Llama?
Well, if you're going to be a llama, might as well be a fly one.
That says it all. Okay, good. Thank you much.
You're very welcome.
Okay.